All right, so how do we write effective advertorials? Before I even talk about what makes an advertorial effective, we first need to discuss what content publishing actually is and why we should publish this content in the first place. As you know, we produce and publish a range of content specifically for our own website. So this is essentially our own media platform. It's our own media. If you choose to share your valuable content on your dedicated Telegram channel, your engaging Instagram page, or your professional LinkedIn profile, you are still effectively publishing content. However, you are doing so on media platforms that you genuinely own, and importantly, do not have to pay any significant fees for their usage.
Uh-huh.
Does this help with our brand story or not? Yes, it does help, but alongside it, there's something else called earned media. Those are the media outlets you pay for, paid media, or sometimes you might get them for free as well. Usually in Iran, it's common for them to be paid. What can you do so that other websites, other social media platforms, other communication channels like email or anything else that exists and belongs to someone else either get paid by you or simply want to promote you, advertise you, or talk about you? We call this whole process the distribution of your content outside or inside your own website. But right now, we mostly want to talk about distributing it outside your own site, outside of the platforms you control. So I have a picture here that I found on a German website. I just used Google Translate, and this is the translation it gave me because I don't know German. It says here, well, these are paid media, your content distribution, and your owned media. This is how it translated it. Now, the media that are actually earned media, those that are acquired through organic means, are here present and accounted for, expanding your content now in different layers. The essential point is to effectively collaborate with the press and actively engage with various media outlets, producing high quality, compelling content that will naturally spread and be widely referenced on its own merit. Distribute through influencers, connect with their PR people, bloggers, and webmasters, ask them to talk about you, and collaborate with media outlets. So, as you can see, it's covering these different layers. Now, let's look at the advertorials we can have here in Iran and see how they work. Under my notes, I've written down two terms for advertorials. One of them is EPR, which stands for electronic press release, and the other is ORC, which stands for outreach content. We use these terms in our own system. Other people might call them something else, and maybe these names aren't very common either. EPR is precisely what we commonly refer to as content that specifically talks about ourselves, our valuable products, or our important work, and subsequently gets widely distributed in various different places. Usually it's published outside of our own website. Now, when we do advertorials, the idea is to talk exactly about that business or that product, and usually we don't include the main keyword in them. Or if we do, we use very different LSIs. And we don't give ourselves any backlinks on the target keyword at all. Instead, we focus on highlighting the brand more in those places. We talk about the brand. We try to place ourselves alongside other brands without giving any links, and we distribute those. If we really need to include a link, we use a naked link, meaning just our URL. A bit link or a naked link. We use a naked link, and PR is a matter of timing. Usually, depending on how much of an initial introduction we want to have, how many campaigns we want to run, and where in the world, we distribute it through other social channels, X and Y. It might take a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. The work depends on our campaign. And there's another term called ORC, outreach content, which is actually content that's richer and contains more useful material. It's not just an introduction, it's more like report style or knowledge-based content, and we include things in it that our industry or field might be interested in. And now in these related keywords, whether they're exact, long tail, or various LSIs, we might use them in the content and link back to ourselves from those, aiming to advance our link building process through them. So what should we pay attention to when writing a press release? So I've written down 10 points here. There are numerous articles readily available out there that tell us precisely what principles to diligently follow and effectively help you create a truly good press release on prominent sites like Tasmi and Tribune and other reputable places that sell press releases. Naturally, such guides exist. But what do we recommend? Well, first of all, make sure you have the right goal in mind. What is this press release being created for? What is the actual intent behind the press release? What context is it for? From what perspective is it being written? We've identified your keywords and we're saying make sure to search for the keyword beforehand. Make it look very natural. This content isn't supposed to look like we paid for it just to get a link and have someone write it for us. Valuable content. Try to provide helpful content, especially in the first few paragraphs. It's fine if you want to introduce yourself there, but make sure that in those opening paragraphs, you guide the user to the content they're looking for. Help them find the answer to their question. Make sure it has a proper structure. Use headings appropriately within it. I've seen that people don't follow the proper use of headings at all. Keep the paragraphs short, make sure the text is readable, and avoid overly long sentences that are hard to understand. For internal and external linking, when you publish a sponsored article, it usually gives you a backlink, but it doesn't have any internal links. Try to make sure that when you publish sponsored articles on different websites, maybe you post 5 of them in 1 hour, within say 2 hours they have internal links to each other. Make sure to include internal linking as well so you can actually increase the value of your pages and links this way. The page definitely needs to have a meta tag. If it doesn't, there's not much you can do about it. For your sponsored article, make sure to include an image and write an alt text. Again, if they add the alt text, that's great, but it's often not really under your control. So how should I choose the media outlet? Should the media have good authority? Yes. Can I tell if they've faked their authority or not? No, I can't tell. You might be able to see the history of these authority scores with Moz. Those that suddenly show a big jump have faked their authority. Don't work with them. Should the media be related to my topic? Yes, it's better if it is. Should I choose a media outlet that has traffic? Yes, definitely. A valuable link that can effectively drive significant traffic is certainly much better than a link that simply doesn't. What else should we consider? For example, should I meticulously check its potential spam score, or are there other crucial metrics to evaluate? Of course, it's better if it doesn't have a spam score. Is the spam score actually real or not? Not necessarily. A page with too many ads, pages that show pop-ups. A page that offers fake software downloads. Images that are, well, I don't want to say too many, but images without licenses. Their images are copied from here and there. There are too many links on that page. Those excessive links won't really help you. Choose a media outlet that has a good reputation. Updating content. Can I update my advertorial after a while? Yes. Get in touch with them and say, hey, I'm trying to strengthen this. Now, on these sites that sell advertorials, they might offer you such a service. Use the appropriate tone. We specifically talked about intent, context, and the right perspective for your audience. So you're writing this content. For example, at the top of your funnel, you want to attract people who don't even know what they want. So naturally, you need to adopt the tone of those people or of someone who is persuading them. Pay attention to the length of your content. Look, being long form isn't always necessarily good, but we've seen many cases where having long content really helped them, and they ranked well and got good positions. So naturally, pay attention to whether your advertorial is long or not. Sometimes, a lot of websites don't allow you to publish long advertorials. Pay attention to the advertorial rules. The rules of that website might actually say, for example, I won't allow more than 2 links, or I don't allow different domains, or I don't allow images. Many of them don't work in a lot of fields. Some of them don't work with beauty-related topics. Some of them, I don't know, don't work with beauty topics. Many of them don't work with immigration and similar topics at all. So how do I find these out? Basically, you need to check the available lists, read their rules. Many of these online platforms have their specific rules and guidelines readily available, and you can easily figure out which particular sites are most suitable and appropriate for your individual needs. Definitely make sure that in your advertorial, your brand name is mentioned alongside reputable brands. I'm not saying Iranian or foreign, but at least don't mention your competitor and give them a link. Mention reputable ones like Wikipedia or the main brand you're talking about. For example, are you their official distributor in Iran, or are you smuggling their products into Iran? At the very least, mention the main brand and put it alongside yours. Put yourself alongside them and elevate your own brand. By following these points and also using other channels like social media, XY, and so on, remember that outreach isn't just about advertorials. It is important to keep in mind that outreach efforts are not exclusively limited to advertorials. You should also diligently pursue other avenues and strategies as well. These diverse approaches can indeed work very effectively for you and your objectives.